Hey, 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 ho, ho, ho. What'd you call me? Happy holidays, guys. It's Melissa.
Hi.
And Amy. And we're here from Brilliant Observations. Why, you may ask?
Why are you here?
It's not Thursday. What is happening? It's a little stocking stuffer, even for you Jewish girls and boys. We're giving you extra bonus content over this magical holiday season so that when you are at the point of murderous rage from spending all that extra time with your special friends and loved ones, we're giving you a little seasonal treat. Tell them about it, Missy.
Step away from the knives, step away from the shovels, leave your family in the dust, and walk outside, walk into a room, put your AirPods, earbuds, headphones on, and take a listen. This is a reprieve from your family, from the crazy, from even joy, and come and listen to us for just tiny little morsels through the next week.
Have a dog that needs a walk, have a cigarette that needs a smoke, have a path that needs your presence on it. Grab your best podcast playing device and get the fuck away from those other people for just a quick second. Happy holidays! We're giving you a little extra content as we take a hiatus, but not from you, lovies. Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoy.
Happy holidays. Good morning, B.O.
Hey, speak for yourself. Or not.
You have that super deep, sexy voice on right now. I like it.
I don't like it. I'm glad that you do like it.
Oh, I do.
I don't like the sound of it, and I don't like the feel of it. As you can imagine, this is inspired by some seasonal allergens. I love to call when you totally get a cold and you're super run down, and you tell everybody it's allergies. It's just allergies. It's not, as I'm allergic to being well. I'm super sick. But the show, as they say, called life must go on and
What's
on.
crazy is you want to enjoy this holiday season, so you're trying to get everything done so you can be in it and marinate in the family and the joy and the food and the people and God help me, even the travel, even all of the things. And because you've pushed yourself so hard to get to that moment, your body's like, I told you to fucking slow down. And because you won't do it on your own, I'll slow you down.
Well, and I agree with 100% of that. Layered on top of it, I think everyone has heard me mention I'm trying to become a healthier, thinner version of myself. So I'm doing the things. And that translates into, gee, that tent of a sweater that you wore last year maybe is not the one that's required this year. Part of it is the head fake of, I don't know what fits or looks good anymore because your body's changing just a little. And part of it is, I've lost 14 ounces. I am wearing a skin tight leotard, right? So it's like you got to hear. So I'm constantly trying to change. How can I make myself look? And that brings its own kind of stress because you want to acknowledge this sort of new feeling and you want to wear things that make you feel good about yourself. And it's nice when people look at you and say that you look a little bit thinner, but then it also gets weird when people know that you're losing weight. And now you feel like, I feel like the microscope is on, not the microscope, the thing, magnifying glass is on me. Which is it, a microscope or a magnifying? I feel like
you're
people
either under the microscope or, I think stay under the microscope. That's actually a phrase. Stick with that.
So they're all, I feel like people are giving me the little fisheye, like, did she gain another 6 ounces? Not in any kind of way that they care, but because it's on the radar, you almost want to be supportive. I imagine it's what it must be like to be a recovering anything ick, right? Drug, and anything, an addict, an alcoholic, whatever. So,
all the icks.
Yeah. So people are sort of like, if you're a giant foodaholic or whatever, and then you sit down with the Christmas plate and it's nothing but cookies, and people sort of look at you like, oh, having a Merry Christmas. I'm putting a lot of that shit on there, but I think people get really weird about their weight in ways that I don't always. People get weird about their bodies, don't you think?
You have a friend who posted on social media that she didn't like to comment on people's weight, but she wanted to relate positively.
What are you talking about?
Michelle, I think, posted. I'm trying to remember. I remember just how it made me feel what she read and not exactly. It was.
That sounds like Michelle. She's so wonderful. I don't remember what she said. I remember the way she made me feel.
Relate with somebody. In a positive way, just to start a conversation, not even to have it be the be all end all, but to say,
no, I know what that was from J.K. Rowling, who I normally love, but this time she was kind of weird. It was about weight.
Yes.
It was about weight. It was so strange to me.
Yeah.
She was relaying an experience where she was at maybe the British Book Awards. I'm blanking on which one it was. And she wins so many. Kudos to you, JK. So she was there, and someone who she hadn't seen in several years came up to her. I presume it was a friend, and said, "You look great. You've lost a lot of weight since I've seen you." And she got pissed. And then she went on to say that the reason she didn't like it is because in the amount of time that she had not seen this person, she had also had a child, which maybe explains some of the word, but also had published yet another book. And she was like, why on earth and she sort of went around and around and around the horn, like, first of all, don't you know me? But even worse than that, she was like, why is the best thing that you can think to say to me? Why is the knee-jerk thing that you can think to say to me about the way I look? Right.
My biggest accomplishment this year is losing weight, not publishing a book or having a child or all of these milestones. It's, hey, you've dropped some weight.
And in that circumstance, I thought she missed the mark a little bit, but what I took away from it was the intent of her piece, at least as I perceived it. And the intent for me was, let's not immediately size people up by their size, right? It is a knee jerk. We do it often without thinking. It's so regular. And I guess my visceral response to that is, yeah, it's biological, man. We've evolved to try and pick out mates, and you know, that's our brains are pretty primitive and that kind of thing. That doesn't mean we need to do everything our primitive brains say. So I fall somewhere in the middle in there. I didn't know how I felt about that. And I liked it when I had a friend comment on it who said, here's what I take away. I'm going to use this to be inspired to have more meaningful conversations with people and not surface level, which just makes me laugh hilariously, because this woman is like the Drew Barrymore of conversations. The first thing that she says to you is like, let's say the deepest penetrating thing about your soul, instead of, hey, good to see you. Like she's already there. So I'm like, fuck, what are you going to do now? But anyway.
Number one, I love Drew Barrymore. Thank you for putting her into this conversation. She's probably my favorite.
Well, she's our friend. If we actually lived in the same neighborhood, she would be in my house every fucking day. And I would love it because she's great.
But I mean, the first thing you do when you see somebody, it's right there in the sentence, is you see them. You haven't even connected with verbiage and how is, like, no comments. The eye is your first attraction, is your first notice. Is it wrong to let that be the first comment? I don't know, maybe, but it's definitely your first notice. I said to my girlfriend 7 years ago, oh my God, you look amazing. What are you not eating? She said, because we had an affinity for getting together in July and eating baked goods. And she said, well, that's what happens when your husband cheats on you and leaves you.
Oh, wow.
You know, so be careful, friends. If you're going to comment on aesthetics first, you might wind up with an entire pie full of crow. So you don't know. And aesthetics are a very tough thing to – do you look at somebody when you see they've gained weight and say, wow, tell me where you're eating because it looks great? Like, it's like how you don't handle it the other way. You just assume everybody wants to be thinner.
But isn't that just by way of saying it is wonderful to hear and to acknowledge in someone else that
hard work.
What you're putting out there, I respond well to. Isn't that all it is?
JK didn't think so.
But
she was pissed.
I know, but she's also, I think she missed the mark. And it could have been, this person was a bitch. And you know what I mean? It could have been the subtext that none of us are ever going to know, and the backstory and blah, 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 blah. Part of what she said, I get it completely. And part of it, I'm like, lighten up, honey. She gave you a compliment. I mean, I'm sorry she didn't lead with, you're the hottest shit on sliced toast, but I don't know. I wasn't there. I took away from it the intent of what she was trying to say. From the example she used, I didn't get there. There may be another example where I'd be like, oh my God, that's awful. So all I'm trying to say is, no, I don't think you would ever look at someone who is unfortunate and point that out. But I do think it's nice to point. But I'm also I'm a talker. I'm a toucher. I'm Joe Biden. I'm constantly saying the thing, and I just roll with it because it's coming from a good place in my heart. And if I say the wrong thing and I can see it on your face, or your fist is coming at my nose, then I'll grab it and say, hey, I'm so sorry. Let's back up. Because here's what my heart was trying to do.
So
that's
we're
right. Butters is with me.
Hey, Butters, are we going to go with intent? We're going to follow intent, right? My intent was to flatter you, was to notice something on which you have worked hard.
Yeah.
And to say, your hard work is paying off. I'm super proud of you for still working hard, and not saying, I can't fucking do this anymore.
Or even it's not even, could be work, could just be look at the loveliness, right? I'm in the same way that when you're out in nature and you love it and you're enjoying being out in nature.
Nature's working hard.
Well, okay. Well, Great. Acknowledge the work. Don't acknowledge the work. Either way. Isn't it all good? Isn't it about being good? Isn't it about being good? Stop pulling your neck. Your neck is beautiful.
I know. I'm sitting here thinking, wow, my face looks so much bigger than it did 6 weeks ago when I didn't eat baked goods like I was getting paid for it.
Are you out of your mind?
No.
Are you out of your mind? Do you need to do you have a funhouse mirror or do you have a regular mirror?
I have my computer right now.
Your face looks the same. If anything, it looks better. And when you fill up both of your cheeks with air like that, your face looks awful. And don't do that anymore.
You look awful.
Pro tip. Don't do that.
I had a super funny conversation the other night at dinner. We went out with friends, my son's friends.
Well, were they really?
My son's friends' parents, who are our friends as well, love this family.
Yeah.
And I purchased a vegan leather bag.
What? Why?
Because I'm trying to be somewhat conscious. First of all, it's adorable, but it's also super functional. It's also super conscious of all the animals we're killing. I'm eating less meat. I'm not eating no meat. Don't get crazy. If I tried that, which I have in the past, Mallory and I have both tried it, and we looked at each other like we were a turkey leg, and we're like, I'm gonna eat you.
Oh my God, I love it.
So at dinner, this woman says to me, "Did you see? I have somebody. Oh, her son was eating pasta." Swung it around and it landed in her bag. And she said,
"Where were you? At the Disney buffet?"
You know exactly where we were. We've eaten there with you.
Okay.
So she says, "That's okay. It's a vegan leather bag." And I'm like, "It's adorable." I said, "So is mine, by the way." She said, "Yes, the way they must kill the animal."
Oh, we're going there.
Is conscious. And I'm like, "No, that's kosher meat."
Vegans don't kill the animals, Tootsie.
She said, "No, I just thought they took better care or had a process that was less painful." And I said, "Oh, no.
You got a pleather bag, babe.
Vegan leather," it's exactly what I said, is pleather. It's not real leather. She said.
Synthetic.
What?
Yeah, that $8 billion that you, yes.
She did not want that bag anymore.
Thank you, Michael
neither did I once I saw pasta fly into it. So. But yeah,
Lord.
Isn't that funny? A wildly educated woman thought that vegan leather was still leather, just leather that was prepared.
Yeah, vegetarian, that fed a vegetarian diet.
Maybe, yes. She just totally misunderstood. And I didn't even hear the rest of what she meant because I was laughing so loud and so hard and disrupting every diner around us.
Did this pasta slinging stranger plus got mocked? Wow. Check. We'll take the check. Yeah.
Did you ever totally misread a situation and think something was very, very different than it really was?
Let me think. Did I ever? Yeah, I think the question might be
what's your most embarrassing?
I was going to say the question might be more accurately framed. Did you ever not misread a situation, Amy?
Amy.
Yeah, I've misread many. And I will call them all up and share them with you and humiliate myself willingly. But the one that has nothing to do with me, it's just the one that comes to the mind. It's very funny. It's texting. People, you do those autocorrect in texting. And I didn't do this, but I read it and I adore it. So it was these two people, they were at a conference or something for business, meeting partners, what have you. And the one person texted to the client, "Okay, so as soon as we finish, let's just meet in front of the bathroom, right? Let's just meet in front of the bathroom." And the person tried to type perfect, right? And instead it autocorrected to pervert and sent it to the client.
Oh my God, no.
That's a tough one to have to Watusi back out of. But yeah, I misread
Oh my
shit
God,
all
no.
the fucking time.
I mistext things all the time because fucking autocorrect. She hates me the same way Siri hates Annie and directs her in very different locations.
Don't question my spelling. It's just leave me out of it. I'll be able to take care of myself. I bought you, phone. I can work my fingers on the little dial.
I say who?
I say who? Yeah. Here's just a pro tip. If you do see me ever and decide not to run away, run up to me and think of any compliment and I will take it and I will smile.
I'll take any compliment
I will not
as well.
JK Rowling you. I will not JK Rowling you.
Other than you look well rested, because that's just a fucking lie.
I think that's when people are trying to ask about, did you get Botox? I actually asked a client if she got Botox. I super did. Just this
That's
past
kind of
week.
a compliment too. You're saying you look younger. Well, you look solid.
She had been going through a rough time that I knew were that kind of client. I don't know who I am in this relationship. They're all my clients. Vendor, I guess. Partner is what we say. Anyway, she looked a lot better than she had looked in recent weeks. I'm talking dramatically better and transformatively better.
Did you shower today?
I pulled her. We pulled over to the side. We were, how are you? How's this? How's your, ask about the things that I know that are not business, the personal connection, the family thing, the thing you were dealing with, blah, 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 blah. I just got to say, you're looking great. Are you doing something different? And she just kind of got a little rosier glow on her cheeks. And I leaned in close because she's just kind of, you can tell by her answer. I said, did you get Botox? I'm thinking about getting it. Did you get Botox? And she's laughing. She goes, I'm 72 years old. I don't care. I'm not getting any Botox. I look the way I look. No, I didn't get any Botox. I'll tell you my secret. You want to know my secret? You want to know my secret? Pond's cold cream. And I said, what? She says, Pond's cold cream and sex. And I said, oh,
there you go.
I said, well, I'll have to get some of that Pond. She goes, yeah, I'm not going to tell you how I use it. Oh, Lord. Meaning she was using it with the boyfriend in the sex.
No.
Anyway, so I laughed and laughed and laughed. But still, she looks spectac. And when I went to a second meeting that day, she came up at the topic of conversation because there were other partners there. They mentioned how good she looked. I said, I commented, she's looking great and good for her. And one woman leans over and goes, yeah, she's got a new boyfriend. And I said, well, I don't know that he's new. She told me it was Pond's cold cream. And then everybody talked about Pond's cold cream. So I was like, all right, Pond's. I don't know.
So when I was little, my great grandmother, my grandmother, my great aunts, they all had stock in Cheeseboro Ponds, which is the mother company of Pond's cold cream, and like 35,000 other products.
Stop it. I thought it was Noxzema.
So oh my God, could you imagine putting that on your vagina and tingling for the rest of the day? Yeah, it would be horrible.
Why did you say it? Where? Who are you?
Yeah, on your vulva.
Why? Because they were using it for sex. I'm like, what is wrong with your head? I was like,
so much.
Where am I going to put this Vicks Vapor Rub?
No.
God,
hey, look back. We did an entire episode on that. So we would get this big box come holiday time for all the stockholders. And in it were samples of all of their products. There's perfume, there's Pond's cold cream, there's a leather thing, there's just 100,000 products.
Wow.
So as a small child who loved sample size everythings, because they were my size, I would run to that box and I would be like, oh, look, a piece of leather that smells. Oh, Irish leather? No, what's the leather one with the cowboy on it? English leather?
English leather.
That was in there too.
It used to have like a cork stopper on the aftershave.
Yep.
And it was like tall like a hat.
All of those things. And to this day, I still use Pond's cold cream to take my makeup off every night.
Is that what? Wow.
Every night. That's what I use to take my makeup off.
There's so much in that sentence. God, you piss me off. How can I know you this long and still find out new things about you?
That I actually take my makeup off every night?
Yes. And the fact that there was makeup on that day, and that it's coming off at night, and that you're using cold cream, and obviously you look like you use Pond's cold cream, according to this other woman who,
or get deep dicking, one or the other.
Both. I think it's the combo. I'm pretty confident you're subscribing to the same beauty regime. Oh, it's regimen.
As your 70-year-old friend?
72.
72. Well, good for you.
She's wonderful. And you know what? More power to her in all.
Does she have a first name?
She does. It's Margaret.
All right. Let's cheers to Margaret.
I love some Margaret. She's great.
Margaret, we're dedicating this mini episode, which is becoming a maxi episode, to you.
Cheers, the Margaret. Compliment. Yeah, I love it.
This is the Cheeseboro Ponds. This is the Pond's cold cream episode. I thank you all for listening to our joy and our conversations. And please educate yourselves on vegan leather. It is not leather. Maybe a misnomer, but vegans would not support leather. So moving on. Thank you for listening, dear listener.
Thanks, guys. And as a last parting note, I know it's a quickie, it's a bonus episode, but if you are enjoying what you're doing, share it with a friend, post it on social media. Go and find us on social media, social media, send us an email, do these things. All of the places you can find us have the word Brilliant Observations in it.
At Listen Brilliant on all the socials. And please write us to tell us that you don't want to hear about our Pond's cold cream or whatever you do want to hear.
Or our clients' sex lives. I mean, that's up to you. You have a lot of control here, so use it.
BrilliantObservations@gmail.com. We love you.
Love you. Bye.